Hello everyone, this is Greg M. Life on the go with track and field news, information, update, sports news, covering track and field, of course, because that's my pledge. So give more attention to track and field as it doesn't get the attention and recognition as other sports out there. So this is about track and field. Team hires an attorney, says it will pursue class action lawsuit against Clemson if necessary. This is the Clemson track and field team. Um, as you know, it is represented. This team, track and field, has a lot more minorities, black and brown athletes that are representing them. I know the coach. I went to high school with this coach that used to also coach at LSU as a distance coach. Um, he recently, just a couple of years ago, got this position as the head coach, and he is also black. And it's just that this school decided to cut their program, which is affecting all the scholarship programs that a lot of the black students or minority student athletes depend on. And it was just so easy for them to cut that. They may disagree, but they don't cut football and other non-revenue sports, but they just for some reason wanted to cut out this program, which is also a successful track and field program. They're basing it off of revenues or whatever their reason. So there's a little news clip here. This is of course the author here is Julia Morris, sports anchor, WYFF, look like Channel 4. This was on March 15th, so I'm just now kind of covering this. I'm gonna just play this news clip, then I might talk a little bit more. I'll just start this over.
The Clemson track and field team has hired legal counsel and says it will pursue a class action lawsuit against the university if necessary. This comes after Clemson announced in November it was cutting its men's track and field and cross-country program at the end of the 2020-2021 academic year. Now, in a letter written by Arthur Bryant, counsel of Bailey Glasser, a firm based in California, Bryant said that he would pursue a lawsuit if necessary for, quote, depriving male athletes and potential athletes of equal participation opportunities in violation of Title IX. The letter also says, quote, the fact that Clemson is violating Title IX to eliminate majority black teams is especially disturbing. We have reached out to the university. We have not yet heard back.
So that's the story on that. Let's see if there's any further. So this is the story here. Clemson, that's in South Carolina. Clemson University announced it was eliminate the men's varsity intercollegiate track and field and cross-country team at the end of 2020-2021 academic year. Some of the members of the field program have obtained legal counsel since that announcement was made. So just like the anchor just read, on Friday, Arthur Bryant of counsel at Bailey Glasser LLP sent a letter to Clemson President Jim Clements, which can be read below. So by cutting the men's track and field team at Clemson University is in violation of Title IX. We have retained counsel and are ready to pursue a class action suit against the university if necessary. So it goes on. Unless Clemson agrees to preserve the men's track and field cross-country team or has some plans for compliance with Title IX, we do not yet know. We will seek a preliminary injunction preserving continuing these teams, Bryant wrote in the letter. So WYFF News 4 has reached out to Clemson University for comment and have not heard back, of course. They're probably trying to figure out how to respond with their legal team. So on February 2021, a federal civil rights complaint was filed against Clemson University for discontinuing the men's track and field and cross-country programs. And the complaint alleged that Clemson University is violating Title IX of Civil Rights Acts of 1964, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, and national origin in programs and activities receiving federal financial assistance. Athlete and activist Russell Dinkins worked alongside current and former Clemson athletes, alumni, and parents to create the complaint and believe that by cutting the men's track and field program, Clemson is directly targeting African American athletes on campus and the number of opportunities African American males receive therein. I would assume it affects the females too. Clemson University is cutting a sport that has a large black student population, and the black students are overrepresented on the track team in comparison to other teams on campus, Dinkins says. So you have one team that doesn't produce revenue or doesn't produce profit, rather that has a high degree of diversity. That's the one sport's getting cut. That's a problem, and it has a discriminatory impact. Dinkins complaint joins a long list of opposition to cutting of the track team, both locally and on a national scale. So, of course, it goes on. I'm not going to read all of it, but that's the gist of the story. And I think it's a shame because they've produced quite a few top-notch Olympic caliber athletes that have went on and represented the USA and across the world. 'Cause, they recruit worldwide also. But for some reason, it was just easy for them to cut this program. The argument is probably that they're probably going to say they're not a revenue generating sport, but then why not cut other sports? They have the successes. They have results. It's an effective program, good coaching staff, management. To me, it's just a discrimination, plain and simple. Where it's just easy to cut a team, the track and field program specifically and cross country that's overrepresented with African Americans. And I hope they follow up with that and able to save the track and field program. It just seemed like a big waste. Not only that, you hurt the students who rely on the scholarships. It's not easy to just transfer somewhere else and then find the same type of coaching and support. I mean, you probably could, but that's where they chose to go. And if it's not challenged, then what will happen across other campuses? Big Division 1 programs that decide that they don't need track and field or a sports team that's overrepresented with African Americans, black and brown student athletes. You see what I'm saying? And if there's this discrimination or systemic discrimination going on in sports programs of violating civil rights, Title IX, whatever, then this could become a trend. And we don't know how deep the discrimination and racism is throughout college programs. A lot of them depend on black athletes to pad their programs with talent to win championships, to bring in revenue for the schools, especially on the football, basketball. And in a way, track and field bring in a little revenue, maybe not as much, but everybody should have equal opportunity. Whether you're black, white, Spanish, Asian, student athletes, and whether your program, your athletic program, bring in a lot of revenue or not. You're supposed to be building Olympic or what they call Olympic type sports programs, non-revenue. You're supposed to have a well-balanced program. It's not all just about money. It's to help these young people in their development, educational and opportunity-wise in sports. Sports leads to opening other doors and avenues, whether they go to the Olympics, become professional in their respective sports, whether track and field, volleyball, lacrosse, or whatever. I don't hear them cutting lacrosse or volleyball. They cut the one sport that's overrepresented with black students, student athletes, track and field. Make you wonder. So we'll stay tuned, and that's just my commentary on that. We'll see what happens. So tune in till next time.